Do you feel the overwhelm that is Do you feel the overwhelm that's going on in society today? Do you feel individuals constantly talking about, they're struggling with their weight and their finances, and they're struggling, wondering about what's going to happen with the presidential elections coming up, and they're struggling with the potential new COVID coming through, the new pandemic coming through. There's just so much going on, right? And then we have relationship struggles, and we have career struggles, and oh my God. Overwhelm is the correct term. Hi, you're tuned in to David Essel Live, helping Americans and the world to heal on Buzzsprout.com, the most positive podcast in the universe and in the galaxy. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to be positive right now even. Yes, overwhelm is taking over this world, as they say. As a matter of fact, I've made comments about professional athletes and teams like the Indiana Colts came out, kicking the stigma on mental health. And when they came out with their PSA, their public service announcement, not too long ago, they've been doing this since 2020, but they've got this new ad out. And in the ad, the word overwhelm is used multiple times. And when I'm watching that ad, I said, I've got to do a podcast. I've got to do something about this because we are really in that state of overwhelm. Overwhelm means that we're being hit from the right, the left, up, under. Every area of life can be affected right now. And for many of us, it's happening. We're struggling financially. We're looking at the prices of the grocery store going through the roof. We're looking at all kinds of expenses now increasing. What you purchased a year ago could be up 50%. That can be overwhelming. The fact that we don't know what's going on with our health reasons in regards to pandemics and COVIDs and vaccines and all that, that can be overwhelming. Trying to make a decision on who the next president that we're going to elect in, that can be overwhelming. Trying to make a decision, do I really want to stay in this job, but it's in this market? Is it even possible to find something else? That can be overwhelming. Maybe you have children and they're starting to reach the age of acting out. That can be overwhelming. So what I'm saying is overwhelm is a part of this new experience that we're going through in society, and we have to learn how to minimize it if we want to move forward in life. I'm going to give you a couple ideas that I think are incredibly crucial. And if you write these down, it could really help. Number one, stop talking about all of the insanity in the world. This is probably one of the greatest things you can do. When you go into the gym or you go to work or you go to your coffee shop or you go to meet your friends and people start talking about how horrendous everything is and how horrendous the presidential race is and, oh my God, are we going to have another round? Stop talking. Just disengage. One of the greatest things you can do when you're in an era of overwhelm is to stop repeating that which is overwhelming. I know it's really hard to do. I know we want to keep up with the Joneses. I know we get triggered. I know when we're sitting next to someone who's starting to complain about X, we want to chime in. Oh, I know it is so terrible. Oh my God, I can't believe the prices. Oh my Lord, I can't. And every time we do that, we're grounding overwhelm. We're doing the exact opposite of what we want to do. So I'm recommending two things right now. When you're out with friends or at work or whatever, and people start talking about the overwhelm, either just shut the heck up. We call it disengagement. Just be quiet, sit there, listen, do not respond. Don't nod your head because that's a response. Don't do a thing. Just sit there, stare at your feet. I don't care what you do. Count the number of fibers on the carpet on the floor. It doesn't matter to me. But just do not respond, right? Number two, walk away. I know, it takes strength, right? If someone is constantly complaining about, it doesn't even matter if they're constantly complaining about their partner or whatever it might be. That's part of overwhelm. You don't need to be a part of it. Independent individuals versus codependent individuals will walk away from a conversation that's unhealthy. The codependent person will stay there and go, well, you know what? They are my friend. And, I really do need to respect these people because I work with them and all this other freaking nonsense. If it's negativity and conversation, get the hell out of there. However you have to, either by shutting down, shutting up, staring at the floor, or just walking away. You can even say, hey, I'll be back in a few minutes. You don't have to give a reason why that the topic is ridiculous and you're sick and tired of hearing it. Just tell them, hey, I'll be back in a couple minutes and walk away. Number one. Number two, we created something in 1996 called the one thing theory. The one thing theory states that at any time you're in a stage of overwhelm, Anytime you're in that space of overwhelm, we choose one area of our life to go after, and that's it. You might feel overwhelmed with finances, with your health. Maybe you're battling with weight. You may feel also overwhelmed with your partner. You may feel overwhelmed at work, but we can't solve everything at once. So the one thing theory states, change one thing at a time. Take the biggest one that's bothering you. What's the number one thing with overwhelm? Write down all those things that are making you feel overwhelmed. And then look at what's the nastiest one, the dirtiest one, the monster underneath the bed, and only go after that one. And the reason we say that is because many times when you feel overwhelmed and you go after that one thing and you start to see momentum, other areas of life that have felt overwhelming will be reduced as well. Okay, this stuff really works. If you need to rewind this and take notes, please feel free to do that. I don't want you to miss a thing. Number 3, cognitive behavioral therapy. When you're in a state of overwhelm and those negative thoughts are racing through your brain like a dog chasing its damn tail and you can't seem to get out of it. And every 20 minutes or every hour you're worrying about X or Y or Z. Cognitive behavioral therapy is something that can stop those negative thoughts, those overwhelming thoughts, those OCD thoughts in a heartbeat. Go to YouTube, Google David Essel CBT. C as in Charlie, B as in boy, T as in Tommy. Go ahead, CBT. Go to YouTube, Google David Essel CBT. We have several videos that will take you through step by step how to do cognitive behavioral therapy. And I can tell you really quickly, all you need is a rubber band. This is called a Huna band. It's specifically made for CBT. You can use any kind of rubber band. But the minute you have that thought, as you will learn on the videos, you snap the band, you say two phrases, I have 3 phrases, 2 phrases, and then you move on. And the next time that negative thought comes in, that overwhelming feeling comes in, you do the same thing. And what we found is many times just after 2 or 3 snaps of the band and 2 or 3 repetitions of those statements, you get a break. And maybe an hour goes by instead of 15 minutes and you have a thought, or maybe 4 hours go by, but it does work. So these are just some ideas I want you to think about with overwhelm. Make sure you're getting off the news. Oh my God, that's going to create overwhelm. Get off of the conspiracy theory videos on YouTube. That creates overwhelm. Even if you agree with these people, it still is riling you up. It's producing adrenaline and cortisol. You don't need that crap. So take your time. As a matter of fact, if you're going to go to YouTube and listen to anything, listen to audios on sleep. That will help you reduce the stress and the overwhelm at all. Listen, if I can help you at all, go to talkdavid.com. We've got 3 books there, absolutely free, that could also help you with overwhelm. Tons of tips on how to turn your life around. I'm in your corner. If you need me one-on-one, contact me at talkdavid.com. The world is going through overwhelm. It's just not you. It's just not me. It's all of us. But we can change. I'm here to help you heal. Let's do it now. Until next time, have the most beautiful day ever.